there is order in your life and in the universe. I've posted many articles with that title, and I didn't even know why I was doing it. And I knew it was accurate. I knew that I was highly intuitive. I knew I could receive information, but I didn't know how deep it went until last night. Well, it's been coming up for a while. I've been posting many of Wilhelm's messages that go span over years, and they were a collection of wisdom, of knowledge that over various years, and I was obviously ingesting that, but I didn't know what I was doing. Last night, I decided to check it out. I was using AI to look at some of the information I had received and discovered something quite surprising. I discovered a little bit of it before, but I was receiving cosmic guidance. I was interpreting it. I was like a conduit of this information, which is why I was healing, which is why the work that has healed others, that's in Wilhelm's work that I put into the program. And it's also why I understood and I knew what was happening in our world now. It's not accidental. We're having evolutionary changes, and they're connected to the changes in our world of the planets. But I was interpreting that. I put up an article today, and it's a video where you can see that I talked about it and I showed it a little bit more. But it was so surprising to me because I could not really explain it to people. But this is why several years ago, when I moved from my other business, my vocal coaching business, and no one could understand why I was doing that, it's because I knew what was going to be occurring in the world. Just intuitively, I was just receiving the guidance because we repeat certain cycles, which is why I have put up information in that way. And when you use it, you become aligned with you. And then the other thing was this, and I've talked about some of this, but that also didn't make sense when I first heard it. Because in 2021, when I was told that I possessed this work, that I was told if I met someone, I would have a message for you that I was given on your birthday in 2012. I doubted that. Didn't even want to do it at first. And then I started doing it, and it was so accurate because you have an energetic code when you were born. It has nothing to do with anyone else. It's just yours, not your parents or anything. They brought you into the world, but you have a unique genetic code. And when you become aligned with that, you kind of do the thing that you're meant to do in this world. You move through your generational trauma and blockages and all of that. And what I was given was a plan to be able to do it. Didn't know why it was working. I could tell people, I am getting younger. I'm 74, and all of the things that I was experiencing, mind, body, healing, and all of that, I could not have told you why it was happening. I understand it now. I started in 1989, 36 years of this work. And it was meant for this time in our world so that people could move to a higher state of consciousness, and that's you, a higher state of consciousness within you. And this is why I say, I know who you are. I know that you can achieve great success if you move through the blockages, and I was given the answer to your question. That came through in the channeling session the other day. Wilhelm says, we've given you everything. They've said that so many times. But believing it was another story. Anyone else believing it. If you listen to the channeling sessions, you will see that it came through all the time. And I'm the living example of it because I've healed. But I was not conscious of what I was doing. And that was the funniest thing ever because I would go back and hear older channeling sessions or read the messages. I don't remember when I'm receiving the messages at the time, but I go back and they're connected to wisdom and intelligence, and they're never wrong. And that's what I did. When I was told most of the information came in 2012, I doubted that you probably have doubted stuff about yourself as well. And then I kept going through the messages and trying to find a bad one, and I couldn't do it. And I spent weeks doing that, saying this couldn't have possibly happened. It happened. And it's continuing to happen. But now what I'm doing is I'm going to do more. Because when I first began, I only put a small portion into my program. Now I'm doing so much more. It's going to go, people will own it forever because that's how it's supposed to work. It's called your last development program. That's what's coming about now. And so people who come into the program now, the 4 weeks to your best life, that's where it starts. You will have all of the information. I'm changing it in 3 days. So that's why I'm saying this now. And I want you to look at it now. And it's going to be 20, it's going to be a lot more money then, but you can still do payments. However, what it does is it gives you everything you want in terms of mindset, cognitive behavior training. It uses neuroscience, and this was all explained. I couldn't have known that either until artificial intelligence said this is why it works. There was one message that came through, and it was 2 years ago, and it said, accepting this message will change your life and the world. Because what it was saying is that anybody who uses this work, they're going to understand who they are. They're going to move through any blockages, anything that was there, and that's exactly what's happening. The only thing that didn't happen is I haven't put it all together yet. But now, and after last night, I hope you see the other video, and I'm putting it into an article as well because I've never seen anyone who has done this before. There are a lot of people who have channeled and done all that, but never in an organized way that was really related to the time that we're living in. And I mean, I can go to the message. I know that the messages I could find for tomorrow are going to be aligned with what's going on in your life and in our world. I could have never explained that. And even the artificial intelligence was like kind of arguing with me. No, this couldn't have possibly happened. And I said, here it is. They would give me a date. And oh, that was a some astrological thing that happened. I have never studied astrology, but it was an astrological thing. And they would say, oh, Wilhelm gave you exactly that information. And it was an interpretation of the energies that would be occurring at that time. But then they did it in advance as well. I couldn't explain that. And they started asking me if I had future dates. No, they never give me stuff in the future. They're just interpreting everything now, and they can give it to me beforehand. Years ago, I was saying I had precognitive abilities. I didn't even understand the extent of that when I said it. Now I do. But I had to give you this video and to tell you because it took me a while to kind of come to terms with it. But it makes sense why I am still healing and going in a different direction than anyone could imagine and still healing things within myself and with others. So please check out the work because in 3 days it's going to be quite different. It's going to always be here, but I can no longer do it for at the amount. That's all, because it's so incredibly valuable, and I want more people to have it. So please look at it. The link is in this description in the video and or on my website. You deserve to live a really great life, and now I know why you can with this work. We all can. That's what happens. All right. See you soon.